Today at work, while I was sitting in line waiting for some food in the cafeteria, this girl decides to engage me in conversation, and she compliments me, I think. She said, "You have very pretty eyes, but they always look so sad." Not with thinking about it too much, I just responded with, "Well, did your father or your grandfather ever tell you when you were young not to make a face, otherwise it'll stick?" But, I don't know, kind of made me, think a little bit, I don't know, about myself, but whatever. I wanted to talk to you guys today about chess and my feelings on it. The thing is, like, chess is a game. Chess is a strategy. If you play it, you understand it, right? But for me, chess has a profound, deeper meaning. I get a sense out of enjoyment of just the game in and of itself, watching it, playing it, drawing chess boards. I really like chess. And not as a game of a clash of two minds. That got boring a really, really long time ago. I had a chess buddy who sat there and he basically, the game went that I had him in checkmate in 4 moves, right? And he kept moving other pieces around his board, seeing that if I would pursue the checkmate. And towards the end of the game, he looked at me, he's like, "You realize that you've had me in checkmate in 4 moves, right?" And I look at him like, "Oh yeah, I was, but this game is too interesting right now. This game, I can't win like that. That's right there is seen. That right there is predictable. Whereas the game that we've been playing, since you've so kindly pussyfooted around me putting you in checkmate," and this is the thing, is he did not, within the 4 moves that it took for him to address that, like, he moved just to see if I would, further the checkmate, and then he moved again, and I was just moving around the board the way I was intending on it, and he finally brings it up. And he's like, "Why, you know how to play chess. You know that this is the way you can win it. Why don't you go that direction?" And the best answer to the question was another question. Well, why have you spent as much time keeping me in the position to win the game in 4 moves? And that's my appreciation for chess, is that when you know your opponent, when you know the game, you end up playing in a way that is not bound by the rule book. Here's how you win. Now, there's criteria to how to move a certain piece or not, but the thing is that I like about chess is that when you're watching people play it, 2 good people play chess, it's kind of like a conversation or a dance, like ballet. It's, I don't know, I have an aesthetic for that game that I don't think very many people do, and I believe I ended up losing that game. I can't remember, but the game itself ended up following up with the conversation about chess. And I was in chess club. I played chess a good portion of my life. I think it was the first actual board game that I actually learned and loved when I was like maybe 8 years old. And there's a certain poetry you can find to the game. I don't know. I just really quite like the game. And I was telling my friend after our game was over that after a while, there was a person that I always wanted to play and beat at chess. And then finally I did. I thought my game was finally honed and good enough to where I beat this individual that I always had it in my head to be. And after it was all said and done, didn't feel anything. I didn't. Because it was so cold, so strategic, that I really didn't feel like I had anything to be proud of. You know, there was this person I had my crosshairs on for years. And finally, I beat them in a game. More than just the one time, too. You know, I steadily grew to the point to where I was almost undefeatable by this person. And there's a familiarity with the way a person plays chess. I just felt that we weren't having any good conversations, you know. And I was trying to explain to my friend here, you know, that once you hit a point of whether or not you win or lose becomes so far out of the question, you can then start to explore the board. And in exploring the board, you get to explore people. I don't have any better words for it, but he talked to me a couple months later, and he looked at me. He's like, I think I get what you're saying about chess. I played my first game with a master, a chess master, and I knew going in that I was going to lose. So I didn't play to win. I just played the way I felt the pieces should move. And he looked at me, he's like, that's quite possibly the most beautiful game of chess I've ever played in my life. And I wasn't there for that. I didn't see the game, and I wasn't there playing it, so I don't really know. But at the very least, there was somebody else who, for a minute, expressed the same love for the game that I have. And there's just something pretty cool about it. Yeah, he's moved away now. I haven't got to play chess with him for a number of years. But whenever I think of him, I'm always thinking about the next game he and I will get to play. Because for some time after that, we played a couple games. And the thing I liked most about it is that our games got longer, but not because we were sitting there staring at the board trying to think out our next move, but because we would get distracted with conversation. We'd start talking about what we were thinking about while we were playing chess and have dialogue. And at least in my mind's eye, what was taking place on that board ended up manifesting itself in real life. I don't know. Chess is a really cool game. I like it a lot.